Hey, this is Drew Page. Welcome to the Drew Page channel. In this video, I am going to react to the Meet Kevin video, Fraud, Congress Members Arrested, where certain Congress members claim to be arrested by the U.S. Capitol Police. And if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, and with that, let's get started.
You're about to see is the kind of garbage in our country that is tearing us apart because it's a lie coming from an official source.
If this is true that these Congress people are fraudulently being arrested, then that certainly does not help the political climate that we're in, especially when there's just recently been all these convictions for the U.S. Capitol Police being charged and injured, and I think one was killed in the January 6th riot, insurrection, whatever you want to call it, protest or whatever. And now the U.S. Capitol Police appear to be involved in this fraudulent arrest of these Congress members. So if that's true, then that certainly does not help the political climate that we're in.
Listen to the end. Yesterday, the U.S. Capitol Police tweeted that they made 35 arrests, including 17 members of Congress. Photographs were taken, we were told.
So the Capitol Police tweeted this, and you see he gave a copy of the tweet there showing the arrest, and so they are clearly involved in whatever this situation is. It says that 17 members of Congress were arrested. Doesn't say they were charged. It says they were arrested. They even put the code section there from the D.C. ordinance, D.C. Code 22-1307.
This sounds intense. Members of Congress being arrested? Well, this is exactly why our country is broken and rampant with disinformation.
If you look at the back of AOC here, you can see that her arms are crossed, but there are no handcuffs there. The officer isn't holding her arms behind her back. The officer just has a hand on AOC and is walking with her, but there are no handcuffs there. So there's nothing preventing her arms or movement. She is simply grandstanding and walking with her hands behind her back.
In contrast, the arrests and photographs of the Roe v. Wade protesters was a stunt. It was a fake fraud to clickbait headlines.
Now, Kevin is straight up calling it a fake fraud, and so he's not making any he's not giving any room for any potential wrong here. He's saying this is exactly what it was. Obviously, I wasn't there. He wasn't there either. So I'm always cautious when it comes to coming outright and saying this is what it is. But I can certainly say that it doesn't look good for the U.S. Capitol Police, nor for these arrested members of Congress.
Look at this image of Capitol Police photographing the, quote, arrested members of Congress. Note, no one is in handcuffs. In fact, they're hanging out in the shade, and the person taking photographs isn't taking booking photographs. They're an officer taking opportunist photos.
That is crazy. If these photographs are real and they are taking pictures with the Congress members before they are arresting them, heads should roll at the U.S. Capitol Police. These people should be fired. They should be out of a job, because they are adding to the disinformation that our already divided country is getting already. And I've researched this to find out if there's any legal way to hold these people liable, if there's a criminal offense for making by pretending to arrest someone. I can't find anything. It almost looks like there's almost no way to hold police officers accountable for this type of action, except for perhaps them losing their employment, which they should absolutely do. If they are pretending to arrest somebody to encourage some political stunt, they absolutely should be out of a job, because they are not working to protect the public. Instead of dealing with actual crimes and actual criminals, they're wasting time that could be used to serve to protect the public, to reinforce these ridiculously fraudulent claims, if that's actually what's happening here.
Here is a video of AOC walking without handcuffs as she's taken away, being, quote, arrested. Here's her smiling, standing in honor of being, quote, arrested for exercising her First Amendment rights.
Again, he shows the video of her smiling, her walking, and the officer holding her arm while she has both arms behind her back with no cuffs. And then he shows these pictures of all of the newspapers that say that democracy is under attack because the Congress members are arrested, and how all of these problems. And if we can't trust the Capitol Police in this regard, why should we trust the Capitol Police about what happened on January 6th? This is the problem. And I'm not saying that there aren't any problems with what happened in January 6th, but surely you can see the problem of credibility here if the Capitol Police are pretending to do something here, and then they're trying to say, well, on January 6th it really was this, but here this was just, there's a mistake or something. I mean, this does not look good. And for the media to jump on this, I mean, it definitely shows what the media is made of.
This led folks on the left to immediately freak out over how unfair it was that peaceful protesters were arrested for demonstrating on Roe v. Wade, but as some comments say, no arrests were made for January 6th. More than 840 people were charged for violations related to January 6th. 725 were arrested, 165 have thus far already pleaded guilty, and so far 70 have been sentenced, with these numbers expected to rise. This is why our country is broken. I'm embarrassed to say I'm a registered Democrat when the fact is the Capitol Police just participated in a fraud to help the extreme radical Democrats on the far left like AOC pretend to get arrested.
You saw there, as she was walking away, she raised her right hand up, and so she clearly was able to move freely. There's nothing preventing her from being able to make a show. And if this was an actual arrest, there's no way the officer would have let her lift up her arm and do all these other things. So clearly there's some serious issues here that need to be addressed, and the U.S. Capitol Police needs to be held accountable if this is in fact true. So put in the comments, let me know what you think. Do you think that there should be some accountability for the U.S. police in this? Or do you think this is no big deal, that they're in the right because they should join in this stance against the Supreme Court? What impact do you think this has on the January 6 hearings that, by the way, are still ongoing? Put it down in the comments, let me know. Hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, and until next time, stay tuned.